cleared for takeoff.
Good evening. Welcome in to Indians Minor League Magazine along with Jason Stanford. I'm Al Pulowski. And boy, Jay, hard to believe, but this minor league season is getting pretty close to the end.
It really is, and the boys are doing what they're supposed to. They're competing at a high level, they're staying consistent, and they're showing what the Indians have and why they have so much depth. Trades don't matter.
All right, we've got a lot to talk about, too, on this show. Plenty of great prospects. Some prospects maybe that were off the radar are coming back again. We'll talk about them. And, of course, we'll take you around the minors to check in with each and every team. And Indians VP of Player Development, Ross Atkins, will join us to talk about the state of the farm system's pitching after that trade that sent Drew Pomerantz and Alex White to Colorado. We'll also have Diamond in the Rough, and we'll reveal the Indians Minor League Player of the Week. But let's start with hitting, and we'll start in TripleA Columbus. We've got some exciting guys to talk about down there, and one of those is a former first-round pick that is once again back on the prospect radar, and that's first baseman Bo Mills. And he continues to hit at TripleA Columbus just as he hit at DoubleA Akron earlier this year. In the 18 games since being promoted from Akron, Mills is batting .281, 3 homers, 7 RBI. Overall this season, .296 is the average, 14 homers, and 56 runs batted in. Mills is back, Jason.
Yeah, he really is. And this was what everybody talked about when they drafted him in the first round out of Lewis and Clark College up in Oregon. It was a big difference. But this guy can hit for power, can hit for average. And when he's healthy, he is a top prospect.
So Bo Mills, great to see him back, is now somebody to definitely watch for in AAA Columbus. Here's some more good hitters. Cord Phelps, we saw him at the major league level. He went back down to AAA. He's improved. Chad Huffman in his last 10 games. His numbers are sick, and you see why he has also just been named the International League Batter of the Week.
Well, that's very impressive, and unfortunately there's so many outfielders up at the big league level that it's going to be tough for Chad to get up there. But you look at what Cord Phelps has been able to do, staying consistent down there, probably going to get an opportunity to come up in September. It'll be exciting to see him get back up here with Kipnis and Lonnie Chisenhall, so it'll be very neat to see those guys play together again.
Yeah, September call-up's almost a guarantee for Cord Phelps. All right, let's go to DoubleA Akron, where we're going to talk a little pitching here, and left-hander TJ McFarland, who we introduced you to about 3 years ago on the show when he was down in Lake County. Well, he's pitching very well of late. Had a rough start to the season, but now in his last 10 starts, he's 7-2, a .231 ERA, and he struck out 50 and walked 19 in just over 62 innings pitched.
Well, that's why as a starting pitcher, you have so many starts. You're going to have some good ones, you're going to have some bad ones, you're going to have some mediocre ones. And TJ McFarland is showing you why he is such a good competitor at the end of the season. This is what the Indians remember. They don't care about what you did in April or May. They want to see what you do in June, July, and August, and that's what he's showing.
We're going to talk with Ross Atkins about him coming up in our next segment. Also, Paulo Espino. Last couple of starts, great. I mean, a 0 ERA, can't get better than that. And John Drennan, his name comes up from time to time as the years go by, and in his last 8 games, he's been hitting the ball very well.
Well, it's good to see Johnny hitting the ball again. You know, he's been hurt, he's been off, he's been on. But you look at these teams, and they have depth in so many areas. It's very impressive to see that even when the Indians make big trades, they still have guys that can compete.
Yeah, they sure do. And speaking of guys that can compete at the third base level at Class A Kinston, there's a player down there that has really played well here in the last week and a half, and that's Adam Abraham. Solid job for the K-Drivers at third base. Really, it's been pretty solid most of the season. Michigan grad is hitting .333 over his last 10 games, though, with 10 runs batted in and 8 runs scored.
Well, this is another young talent that the Indians are very high on. They like what they've seen from an offensive standpoint. Defensively, he needs to continue to work and get better. That's kind of like a young Lonnie Chisenhall type deal where they want to see the defense improve. But, I mean, he keeps getting better and better, and that's what you look for.
All right, let's take a look at some other players to watch. A couple of relievers there as well, Jason, and it seems we've talked about this. Every level of the Indians minor league system, there are true relief prospects.
Yeah, there really is. You look at Gilmet right there. I mean, he's an Arizona product. He's done his performance at every level. 30 saves this year is very impressive. I mean, you don't get better than that a lot of times at the minor league level.
Then you got Corey Burns at DoubleA Akron, who's set a single season record for the Arrows already in saves. So the closing situation looking very good in the Indians' AA and single A places, and in AAA we got CC Lee. We've been talked about him this week. All right, let's go down to East Lake now and talk about the Lake County Captains, who also have been doing a very nice job this year at developing some individual players. And this is a guy that we definitely want to keep an eye on. Levon Washington, he's back from the disabled list. Now, in his first game back on Thursday, The Indians' second-round pick from last year hit an inside-the-park homer against Great Lakes. A lot of raw ability here. He could be very special.
Yeah, he does. He has a ton of raw ability. I mean, you look at his tools, they say 5 across the board. I mean, this guy has speed, he's got power. You know, he'll come into his power, but he's got a good arm. He's got, you know, just unbelievable instincts in the outfield. It's just tough when you're not on the field and playing. It's hard to show those skills.
Well, I told you about relievers at the last couple of levels. Here are 2 more to watch as well, Dale Dickerson and Clayton Ellard.
Yeah, and I mean, it just goes from top to bottom. You look at your AAA, your AA, and your SingleA rosters, all the bullpen guys are doing what they're supposed to do, and that's what's extremely hard at the major league level. The bullpens change from year to year. You don't have the same stats or the same stuff from year to year. And that's why you have to have such a strong bullpen at the minor league level, and that's what the Indians have. All
right, let's go to Mahoning Valley, where we have more pitching to talk about. And Drew Rosinski, the Ohio State grad, has been doing a very good job after he spent a little time in the Arizona Rookie League. So he had a stint there. He's come back, and since he's come back, he's pitched very, very well. In the 6 games since his return, the former Buckeye is 1-0 with a 1.74 ERA in 10 1/3 innings. He has 15 strikeouts and only 2 walks.
Well, that's what stands out, I think, most for me is for Drew. You know, he goes to a big-time Division I program. 15 strikeouts, 2 walks, only 10 1/3 innings pitched. Very nice.
A couple other guys to keep an eye on down there at Mahoning Valley, and these are guys, Jason, these guys play right in your backyard. You really keep up with this team.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I have the opportunity every time, you know, I have some free time to go watch these kids play. They're fun to watch. They get after extremely well. And just Dave Wallace has done a very nice job down there with that team. Put them in first place. They're competing for a playoff spot. I mean, it's just a difference maker down there, and that's nice.
Good old Wally doing a great job down there managing the Scrappers. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll hear more about some of this pitching in the Indians system. Ross Atkins will join us, the Indians Vice President of Player Development. Stay tuned.